the surprising thing and what I thought was going to happen was with the news of Amanda Nunes pulling out due to an undisclosed injury of UFC 256, which is in December. This was prime for Conor McGregor to get his wish of fighting in 2020, put this put the Conor versus Poirier fight on this as the main event, and this is still plenty of time for them to go through a full camp,
Right.
or a mostly full camp.
Mostly full camp, but they would also have the same amount of time.
Exactly. So that would have made a lot of sense. But do you the news of Amanda Nunes pulling out was huge. This was a huge hit. The UFC and Dana wanted to end the year strong. We already have Peter Yan and Aljamain Sterling on this card as the co-main event, but that looks like it might get bumped up, and they might have to fill some spots. Do you think that there's any other fights that they could put together to put on this card to make it as exciting as we thought it was going to be?
Well, for sure. I wouldn't even want, if that fight gets bumped up, I'll be a little disappointed in Dana because I think he's a little more creative than that. I would like to see somebody. I'll just throw this out there. I'd love to see John Jones fight. I haven't seen him fight in a long time. Him versus Jairzinho Rosenstrike would be an incredible fight to throw on here. I think that would be probably even bigger than the Amanda Nunes headline main event for UFC 256. And what a perfect way to end 2020 as well, with John Jones taking the octagon, taking the stage in front of everyone. And, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of shots, verbal shots taken at Israel Adesanya as they, continue to go back and forth. And it'll be interesting to see nonetheless. But if I had to put money on it, I would assume that this probably won't happen, but I would like to see Dana be a little more creative than just bumping up the co-main event.
Well, yeah, I know it's great. Everybody always wants to see John Jones, and the thing with John Jones is he's very picky about who he fights. I don't know if he would. He'd rather wait and hold off for the guaranteed Stipe fight for the heavyweight title than take a contenders fight. Unfortunately, that would like that. I would much rather see this than anything else that Dana put together. Just like you said, I feel the same way.
Right.
Another fight that looks interesting, and just the beefs just started today. Michael Chandler, the newest signed lightweight from Bellator. He signed in September with the UFC. He was the lightweight champ for Bellator for a long time. And he tested the free agency waters, came over. He got the certification from Khabib as one of the best lightweights in the world. And today he said he either wanted Conor, Poirier, or Gaethje. Then we got the Poirier Conor fight confirmed, and then he called out Tony Ferguson. And Tony Ferguson has yet to respond, but this would be a great fight, I think, for Michael Chandler's debut fight. He's obviously one of the best lightweights in the world. He's going to be put up there he deserves a top 5 contender right off the bat, and then should fight for the title possibly. But Tony Ferguson's number 3 in the UFC right now. He's ranked 3rd. This is the perfect opponent for him. Tony's really the only top 5 opponent available. So
Right.
This fight would make a lot of sense. Michael Chandler hasn't fought since August. Tony Ferguson fought in July. They're both ready to go. Plenty of time for them to get ready for December. This would be a great headliner. And a great way to get Michael Chandler into the UFC spotlight.
And that was going to be my point, is that Michael Chandler, for somebody like me, for the casual UFC fan, is an unknown commodity. And to pair him with somebody like Tony Ferguson just throws sirens and bells and whistles off in my head, saying, okay, there's a reason I've never heard of this guy, but there's also a reason they're throwing Tony Ferguson in the cage with him. And I would be very interested to see how he can handle somebody like Ferguson, especially as his UFC debut. I think that would be an incredible way to set the tone for his career in the UFC. And Dana White could either capitalize very, very well with his name, or he's going to throw him to the Wolves, and the Wolves will do what they do best and just tear him shred to shred.
Yeah, it's not going to end that way. I mean, Michael Chandler, he's amazing. He's an amazing fighter. He's going to have a great start to his career. He's going to have a great time in the UFC, and he's going to benefit a lot. I think that this is a great fight, and to really gauge where he's at, I think that he could beat Tony Ferguson. I think that this is a great fight for him personally, and this is Tony Ferguson agrees to it. This has to be the headline fight, or at least the co-main event, since it's not a championship fight, but it's just as good as a championship fight. Something that a lot of people would love to see, and if they don't know who they are, if they watch it, they're going to enjoy every second of it. So this would be perfect to replace Amanda Nunes in UFC 256.
For sure. I'll be interested to see. Again, this would be the final UFC main event happening for the year 2020. And just to end the UFC segment for us on a good note, just remember that 2020 is almost over. All the shit that we have gone through, everything that we have had to experience together in this country, in this world, it's going to end very soon, and we could possibly see John Jones, Tony Ferguson. We could see some incredible fights at UFC 256 just to cap it all off and bring in the new clean slate of 2021.